for you. In this one we're going to be taking a look at 10 programs that you must have which are free to download right now. So let's take a look at the 10 I've chosen. Now there's loads of other programs you can use, but these are pretty much a good mix of programs which you can be using right now for free on your computer. So we're on a Windows 10 machine here, and the first one we're going to be taking a look at is Handbrake. Now Handbrake has been around for quite a long time, but the good thing about Handbrake is it allows you to rip DVDs if you own those DVDs. It also allows you to convert files, compress video files down to a smaller size, and all sorts of stuff like that. So I'm on a virtual machine here, so it is running a bit slow, but as you can see here, this is Handbrake itself, and it is free to download, but it is a very powerful tool. You can convert files from one type of extension to another as well, and you can also, as I said, rip down files to whatever you like. And you can see here a big long list of types of files that you can rip down to different sizes. So for instance, if you wanted to put them onto some sort of a phone or something like that, you can rip them down to a smaller size as well. So this is an awesome program for that particular type of thing, and if you want to see more on this, then let me know in the comment section below. So that's the first program. The second program we're going to look at is Dashlane. Now Dashlane is a program which you can use to store all your passwords. Now we know today in the world of storing passwords, people write them on pieces of paper and also just can't remember passwords, but the good thing about Dashlane is it also allows you to store all your information encrypted in here, and it's a pretty decent bit of kit, it really is. Now there's loads of other types out there like LastPass and some other ones out there, but this one is probably the pick of the bunch if you asked in my opinion. And again, you can just set this up, you just go on the tour here, and also you can see your passwords will all be listed here inside this area. And of course you can add a new password, and you can do password changer. You can do types of passwords for like one-time only passwords, which are for junk sort of sites and stuff like that. You can also do personal information here, payments and IDs and stuff like that, and it's pretty secure as well, and you can keep track of everything here as well, which is really useful. And if you want to see something on this, let me know in the comment section below whether you want to see a video on that as well. Now third program that we're going to talk about is Audacity. Now you've seen me talk about and show you Audacity before, and Audacity has been around for a very long time, and this program is an essential bit of kit if you want to edit audio, take out any sort of hissing noises, or you want to get better bassier audio. And it's a free program to download, and it's a must-have bit of kit for any sort of PC. So we're not going to spend too much time going through this. You have seen me make videos on this, so you can watch those videos. I'll try and leave some video cards above here so you can click on those and watch them. Now also another piece of kit which is pretty useful nowadays is this media player. Now it's called Media Player Classic. Now this compared to VLC is right up there. I personally think that the quality on the video for Media Player Classic is a lot better than VLC. Now you can do quite a lot with VLC as well, more so I think with VLC than you can with this, but this is a really good sort of player. So sometimes you have to use what you've got to your power, and Media Player Classic is my personal opinion for playing types of movies. And if you put a comparison with Media Player Classic and VLC and see the video quality, you'll see this has much more vibrant colors and a much more sharper picture. And this is another free program you can download. It's called Media Player Classic. I will leave all the links in the video description for you. So the next program I want to talk about is, I always hear people talking about WinRAR, and WinRAR was really big back in the day, but this program is surpassed WinRAR in my personal opinion, and it's called 7-Zip. It's a free program to download, and this allows you to add and extract files and compress files down to a really super duper sort of limit, you know, so you can compress a file down so small that it becomes so small to distribute on on the internet and stuff like that. Now there is differences in types of media that you are going to compress, and it will compress in a different sort of format. So for instance, if you've got a video that you're trying to compress down to a very small size, you may have a bit of difficulty doing that to a real small type size, whereas if you had a text document, you could crunch that down to virtually nothing, and it could be hundreds of megabytes in size, and it will be just like kilobytes once you crunch that down. And that's 7-zip, and that's a free program you can download, and you should be using this rather than WinRAR right now. Another one that we're going to be talking about, which you've seen me use before, which is called Search Everything. Now Search Everything is basically a program that allows you to search everything on your computer. And this is a really must-have tool, especially if you're using Windows 10 nowadays and you've disabled Cortana. Now Cortana is still running on this virtual machine, but on my main machine I've completely shut down Cortana altogether, and of course that does restrict the search a little bit, but with the everything, it gives you a lot more usability and stuff like that on your computer, and you can find stuff very quickly inside here. So everything search program is a much better program than the average Windows search here, and it's a lot more faster as well. So this is another recommendation. It's a free tool to download, and you've seen me use this to root out malware as well and stuff like that, and it's pretty decent at using as an uninstaller. So I uninstall a program, and I would also do searches for that program inside here, and it will find all the folders and stuff that's related to that particular program once it's been uninstalled, and I'll just delete the rest of that stuff. And it's really useful. Just be very careful when using this, because you don't want to delete system files or anything like that, because it will render the system unbootable. So that is Search Everything. Another one, which is another essential bit of kit in my personal opinion, is called SpaceSniffer. Now SpaceSniffer's been around, and there's a few of these out on the market, and basically you can start this up, as you can see here, and it will start to search your system for space, what's been used, and it's a really useful tool to root out files that are hogging up your system. So for instance, if you've got a small hard drive like an SSD or something like that that's full up to the max, and you don't know where you've got files hiding, then you can use SpaceSniffer to actually find those files for you. So you can see here what it's doing is it's given me a big area here. So downloads, these bigger areas are where all the data is being stored. You can see app data is 1.4 gigabytes, downloads 1 gigabytes, and so on. And all you need to do is click on this, and it will tell you what's in there, and you can actually remove these files, and it will search the whole system. And it's a really great tool, especially when you've got a system that is a couple of years old but hasn't been formatted, and there'll be files hidden everywhere, and you can root out those files and delete them and clean up some of that space for yourself. So that is a SpaceSniffer, pretty decent bit of kit, and there's loads of other tools that do a similar thing to this, so you can see my videos on those as well, and I've made videos on these, but this SpaceSniffer is pretty decent as well. And of course it is free. So another one that we're going to take a look at as well, which is called Pixlr Editor. Now this is a replica of Photoshop, but it is free, and we've seen GIMP and stuff like that. So if you see this here, you can create a picture or whatever you want to document, and you can see it's got everything the same as Photoshop has, but this is free and it works via the browser, and it's a pretty awesome bit of kit. It really is, for quickly editing photos and stuff like that. And if you want to do some work on here, you can do. You can see we have some other tools here. Now the tools on here are very similar to, as I said, Photoshop, and you can see you've got clone stamp tool and stuff like that. So you've got all your normal tools that you would get inside Photoshop. Now again, this is probably not as powerful as Photoshop, but Photoshop does cost money, unless obviously you're using it as a pirated version, which I wouldn't recommend. But you can see here this is a free option, and of course you've got GIMP and other ones like that as well, but this one is probably pick of the bunch out there for the free option for photo editing and stuff like that. And that's called Pixlr at pixlr.com. Now another one which I wanted to cover in this video, which is called WPS. Now WPS has been around for a while, and this is an Office sort of alternative. So if you can't afford Microsoft Office, then you can use WPS. And so you can see here we have the writer, and this is basically Word, and you can see it's called Office 2016 here, but it's the WPS version. And of course you do get a few ads in here, and that's because it's free, and they do a premium version as well, which will get rid of these. But basically this gives you some really good options to create documents, professional documents, just like you would inside Microsoft Office. And you can see here, if I click on this will open up this document, and this will allow you to add in whatever you like and change the text just as you would do in Microsoft Office and stuff like that. And this is pretty decent. So I mean, you're getting some really good beautiful Word documents here that you can mess around with, letters, as you can see, memos. You get all the templates just like you would in Microsoft Office, except this is for free, and you can use it, as I said here. You can just download this file and then open that file up inside your WPS Word editor, and then this will allow you to edit those documents. And it's a bit slow because I'm on a virtual machine. Let me just try this one and see if this opens up a bit better. There you go. Now of course these will work out much better than what they look on the screen here, but as you can see, pretty decent. And this is a Word document. You also have a WPS presentation just like you would inside Office, and I'm just going to let that little advert tick down, and you just click on skip, and now you do have this advert here, but it's not a big intrusive problem, and you can use these for all your presentations and stuff like that, just as you would in Microsoft Office. And of course you have your covers, the WPS, as you can see. Again, you just have to let this you can upgrade to the ad-free one if that's what you want to do, and it's not that much money. But if you want to use the free one, you're going to have the adverts there. But again, very, very useful, very powerful piece of a kit, as you can see here. So that's definitely going on my must-have better kits for free programs. And the last and final one is called Davinci Resolve. Now, Davinci Resolve is a video editing software which is really, really decent, and it's free, and you can download it and you can do all your video editing via this piece of software. And these are all pretty much free programs, and as I said, some of them one of them's got adverts in it, which is the WPS, but as you can see, this is just as good as any other video editing software out there. It's slightly different to the way you have to do things, but once you learn it, it is free, and again, it will give you all the power you need to edit those videos. And I've tried to give you an array of programs which you would essentially need on any sort of computer, and they're all free. So that is my top 10 must-have free programs for 2017. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Have a nice weekend, and I shall see you again for another video soon. Bye.